Aloha. This is Truthiracy House of Wisdom. The ELuminati, Fine L, Social Cataclysm. For those that watched my Myron Fagan video on how the Illuminati New World Order created communism to use against the people, and how they created the ADL, for example, and they are all behind the Black Lives Movement as well. And again, I remembered that Aaron Russo, the producer, said that Rockefeller told him that they are currently convincing the people, the populace around the world even, that socialism is capitalism, and how America is becoming a socialist, communist country today, which we all clearly see in today's political, tyrannical environment. So, when I was a kid, we were taught to hate communism, with an image of someone saying, "Are you a communist?" I had no idea what communism meant as a child, but I related it to rape or murder. You know, the way the government and adults and everyone around me programmed the populace and myself with, and we look at today's political environment of riots, the Illuminati PLANNEDemic, went on for months, which was martial law, keeping everyone locked up like caged animals. And the time bomb was ticking. It was gonna come, guaranteed, one way or another. So the people were looking for an excuse. They wanted to rebel after being locked up like caged animals. They just needed a reason to do a revolutionary act, okay, which is a symbol of the Communist Manifesto. It is symbolic of communism, and so is the raising of the fist in the air. So the founder of the Black Lives Movement is a communist, which I explained in the previous videos. So, everything behind this movement was obviously, like I say, a plandemic and a planned riot as well. So, I keep hearing about red all the time. We hear this a lot, of course, especially in the political environment that we're in right now. And the color red is the color of communism. Okay? And the Communist Manifesto, the communist doctrine, if you will, okay? Political ideologies. So the Soviet Union, Russia, China are symbolic of the color red, okay? The famous elite ELuminati Rothschild, or the Red Childs of Sacrifice, their color is obviously red, and going back to Rome, the Roman red, which came from the more ancient times of ancient Cana Phoenicia, the purple or the scarlet color, okay? So the color red, even we remember in the American Revolution that Paul Revere rode his horse yelling, "The redcoats are coming, the redcoats are coming," to warn the people that the British red-coated soldiers were coming to take over their lands. So, like I said, today, this same red communism is being spread around the world, especially here in America. So, shutting the whole world down is a symbolic act of communism. You see, because everyone becomes dependent on welfare and unemployment benefits from those that govern over us and control us and own us. We become reliant and complacent to their wills and wishes. So everyone across America is experiencing and partaking in this act of communism and all these revolutionary acts of defunding the police, etc., etc. Shutting down of the world is an act of communism because we are reliant on unemployment and welfare and the benefits of free money from our government. Not working, which is again symbolic of the labor crisis. Okay? It's a communist symbol. And today, I keep seeing and hearing, and it's everywhere in this political environment right now, of voting, is everyone talking about the red, turn them red. And they're using the term red all the time in reference to President Trump, who is red. He is the symbol of red. And of course, Trump was talking about communism and talking about China way before this pandemic. So this symbolism of red China, and who wears red all the time? Mr. Red Tie himself, President Trump. The symbol of red is everywhere if you have the eyes to see it. And of course, Biden is blue. They're two wings of the same ELuminati perverted lying eagle, the symbol bird of prey, which is the symbol of the Illuminati, ancient Rome and way prior to that. So the riots are revolutionary. The revolution of May 1st, which is the day the elite elders of the ELuminati were formed in 1776. Which brings us to the protocols of the ELearned elders of Zion, which comes from a letter from the Freemason Albert Pike to the Italian politician Giuseppe Mazzini in 1871. This letter gives a basic outline of the planned history for humanity on Earth, up unto this very day, known as the 3 World Wars. So, the first and most of the second protocols have been accomplished already, and we are in the times between the ending of the second protocol and the beginning of the third protocol, or the upcoming war, the Third World War. The First World War must be brought about in order to permit the ELuminati to overthrow the power of the Tsar in Russia and of making that country a fortress of atheistic communism. The divergence caused by the agentur, or the agents of the ELuminati, between the British and the Germanic empires, will be used to foment this war. At the end of the war, communism will be built and used in order to destroy the other governments and in order to weaken their religions. The Second World War must be fomented by taking advantages of the differences between the fascists and the political Zionists. This war must be brought about so that Nazism is destroyed and that the political Zionism be strong enough to institute a sovereign state of Israel in Palestine. During the Second World War, international communism must become strong enough in order to balance Christendom, which would be then restrained and held in check until the time when we would need it for the final social cataclysm. The Third World War must be fomented by taking advantage of the differences caused by the agentur of the Illuminati between the political Zionists and the leaders of the Islamic world. The war must be conducted in such a way that Islam and political Zionism mutually destroy each other. Meanwhile, the other nations, once more divided on this issue, will be constrained to fight to the point of complete physical, moral, spiritual, and economical exhaustion. We shall unleash the nihilists and the atheists, and we shall provoke a formidable social cataclysm, which, in all its horror, will show clearly to the nations the effect of absolute atheism, origin of savagery, and of the most bloody turmoil. Then, everywhere, the citizens, obligated to defend themselves against the world minority of revolutionaries, will exterminate those destroyers of civilization and thy multitude, disillusioned with Christianity. Those deistic spirits will from that moment be without compass of direction, anxious for an idol, but without knowing where to render its adoration, will receive the true light through the universal manifestation of the pure doctrine of Lucifer, brought finally out into the public view. So, that is the Hegelian dialectic of the problem, reaction, solution, the three world wars. And you hear it's all based around communism being used against the people to overtake them and enslave them. So you see Trump, or the Orange House of Trump. The orange warning is over, and we're now in the red. So this is why we're seeing actual, killings and sacrifices around the world. Over 1 million so-called related deaths to coronavirus. The coming vaccine, which doesn't make sense when we're nearly 100% of the populace is unaffected by the coronavirus, but what the hell is a virus? What's a vaccine for then? Makes no sense if pretty much the entire population is fine. What is the purpose of a vaccine? That's probably, as we know, more deaths, and it's really horrible to look at right now in our world, and I know a lot of us are lost and everything, but keep it together. Just realize that this is all planned. You gotta go with the strokes. You gotta bob and weave and go with it. What they have planned, they're gonna execute, period. We can stand up, we can try to do what we can, but with, very little being done by the people besides what the elite want them to do, nothing's gonna change. It's gonna be more of the same, always. History will just repeat itself over and over. So, when I only get a few thousand views on my videos instead of multi-millions or hundreds of millions or even a billion views, until those kind of days happen, ain't nothing gonna change. Alright, I'm out. Hope you enjoyed. I got killer video of this. I mean, I could really go on with all of this symbolism and going into the next video of the 666 that I want to do, but I got a lot coming. So when I started all this, back in early March with the Kobe sacrifice and Corona, the sun, and I got some really good information coming too. So that video is going to take some time. I've been working on it for a while, but it's coming. So thank you all who support me on Patreon. I've taken my time to really go there every day now and check out my Patreons and interact with them. Got lots of merch, new bumper stickers in, there's t-shirts. My books actually are arriving today, so I'll be sending all those out to those that I already promised I would send them to, and any new subscribers, just know that I will be following up from this point forward. We've got to get Truthiracy much bigger. We're almost at 40,000 subscribers. Let's hurry and get to the 40K and get up to the 50K, bay. Let's do the shizzle. All right, all. I'm out. Aloha.